I realize that I don't have a lot of information regarding the Tempest on the channel. It's not a class I've played a ton until I just returned back to it, and I really only had one build out for the Tempest. So today I want to bring you guys what I'm currently using inside of the game. This is a PvE focused Tempest build, which means it's for open world stuff. It even can be used for Heliquary. This is the build that I use for dungeons, Heliquary, open world, etc., etc. Let me take you into this build so you can have a little bit of guidance on how to potentially build out your Tempest as well. All right, let's start them things out right over here and see what we got going on. First of all, as far as skills go, I'm going with Wave's Edge. It's pretty standard. You'll see most people using that. That's the primary attack. We have Rolling Surf, Squall, Crosswinds, and Flowing Strike. This is going to give us a lot of mobility, but it's also going to allow us to really just clear zones easily when we're out there and farming. I'm going to show you an example of how everything works once I go through all the gear that I'm wearing. So let's start out with our charm. My charm is actually not even that great. I just got Rolling Surf, Storm Fury, and Vortex. I'm not even using two of those, but I haven't been spending a ton of time working on charms because I absolutely hate the charm mechanic. We'll probably roll a few more into there soon, but not today. As far as green items, we're actually wearing 4 sets, which is something you don't typically see from people that utilize the Tempest, or really most classes whatsoever. We're using Grace of the Flagellant. All continual damage, channel damage, and persistent ground damage is increased by 15%. I'm going with Vithu, increases the duration of all beneficial effects on you and your party members. I'm basically using Vithu on all classes. We have Mount Bank, so this even can be used for PvP. I like having a little bit of shielding, even during PvE, Heliquary, because it does give me some protection. Being a class, it's a little bit more squishy. Each time you take damage, you have a 20% chance to gain a shield that absorbs damage equal to 13% of your maximum life. I like that one. And then we have our final piece. What is that? The Gloom Guide's Prize. Increases the damage done by 15% for 3 seconds after using a dash skill. You'll see many people use a 4-piece Gloom. I would be okay with that, especially if you replace something like this one right here. Like Grace of the Flagellant. That one could be swapped out for a 4-piece Gloom instead of a 1-in-1 for Grace. All right, let's take a look at the essences that are the most important right here. First of all, we are going with a, where the heck is it? Squall now marks enemies for 3 seconds before ruptures and slices through them, dealing damage equal to 28.5% of the damage you dealt while marked. And the damage is increased because the slots are awakened. All of these slots are awakened, obviously. By the way, I'll also share with you the gems that I'm utilizing. I utilize mostly 5-star gems, but not all, and they're all ranked up to between 4 and 6. This is a Roiling Consequence. I'll be very honest. I use gems that I can use in PvP as well that are going to benefit me there because PvE is pretty much easy, so I don't worry about specific gems unless I'm trying to push something in Heliquary or some big bosses. But for the general stuff, I am good with the gems that I've chosen here today. We have Slippery Shell. We are also, with Slippery Shell, going with a rank 6, my highest level 5-star gem, 4 out of 5-star Blood-Soaked Jade. You literally can't go wrong with a Blood-Soaked Jade. Squall also increases your damage by 8% for 5.7 seconds, stacking up to 3 times, and the damage is also increased when we utilize Squall. All right, Shoulders, United Defiance. We have a rank 10 Fervent Fang 2-star gem. Considering swapping this one out for the newest one that came from the event, we'll see. Flowing Strike conjures an additional 1 Zephyr following strike cooldown reduced by 3.6. The cooldown is again reduced because of the awakening by 10%. We got Windswept Promise, and in here we have a rank 10 2-star Pain Clasp gem. The Essence Zephyrs now also increase your attack speed by 13% for each you control, and the cooldown is reduced by an additional 10%. Not bad. The Essence is solid. Shriekworth. This is a pretty important one right here. I got a rank 5, 4 out of 5-star Bottled Hope in this slot. Crosswind critical hits cause 4 blades of winds to shadow off the target, dealing 14,500 damage to enemies they hit. Cannot occur more often than once every 0.5 seconds. Damage is increased by 90%, and the crosswind damage is increased by an additional 10%. Now, the second primary weapon that we're utilizing is Skyne Partner. Here I didn't put a ton of work into my magic stuff as of yet. Again, remember, I've only been Tempest for about 2 weeks and I haven't been re-rolling. I like that Crosswinds is going to be one. Also, Flowing Strike. This is a decent piece with these magic attributes right here. I got a 4 out of 5 star. No, yes, 4 out of 5 star, rank 5, Seeping Bile. Probably the most power crept gem inside of the game. We're still using it. And we have Osprey's Claws. Rolling Surf now empowers your edges, causing you and your Zephyr's primary attacks to throw water daggers that return to you. While active, each use of the skill or primary attack grants you an additional dagger for each throw. Rolling Surf damage is increased by 18%. And again by another 10%, making just your movement skill here one that's powerful and does more damage. We have Hurricane Hitch, which is sitting with a 4 out of 5 star, rank 5 Gloomcast gem. Crosswinds now empowers your edges with wind, causing you and your Zephyr's primary attacks to unleash wind blades, damaging enemies. Damage is increased by 18%, and the damage again is increased by an additional 10%. That is our first secondary weapon. And then the second secondary is Morosi's Spine. Here we have a rank 4 out of 5, no, a rank 4 out of 5 star Colossus Engine Gem. This is going to be the next one that I rank up to rank 5. Here, we are going with Zephyr's damage is increased by 28.5. Mist Touch cooldown is reduced by 10%. So I don't have Mist Touch, but I like that we got the Zephyrs on here. This piece could potentially be swapped out if you want to. As far as the pet that I'm utilizing, we have Savior. I'm just basically using a Savior pet because I use that in PvP, not going anything crazy beyond that. Paragon, I go with Survivor. I keep Survivor on. I could switch to Vanquisher if I wanted to for farming purposes, but I've been keeping it on Survivor just so that I can then go into Heliquary and not have to swap things out. Again, I'm a quality of life guy. I don't like to have to always be swapping things back and forth. I'm okay with keeping a build that's good in multiple areas. As far as our attributes go, our combat rating's around 48,616. I shouldn't say around, it is that. And my residence is 3,457. Also, if we take a look at the Herodrum, this is how we have the breakdown right here. Spent a lot on armor pen and armor pen, a little bit on life. So that's how we have that breakdown right there. If you want to take a look at the gems and how we have things looking, that's our gem res right here. And basically, it's probably time that we spend a little bit more time boosting up some of this. I've got a bunch of gem power that we can do this with. I did get myself 35 of the Crimson Bellet gems, and I was toying around with the idea of potentially replacing the Fervent Fang with the Crimson Bellet, but I have to do some testing of that. And as you can see, we do have the Colossus engine for the upgrades. I just got to start doing the upgrades. It's really that simple. Let's do a 30-second test here on the dummy and see what we can get right here. I'm only doing 30 seconds so you guys could see a quick idea. And it's not really about damage, though. It's about, I mean, obviously damage matters, but it's about being able to clear... It's about being able to clear enemies from the open world and really just take down everything as quickly as possible so you can just farm efficiently. Now, if you want to be an AFK farmer, this is not going to be the class for you. That would be a Necromancer, which is why so many people probably love being Necromancer because of the AFK farming abilities. There we go, 30 seconds. We got ourselves 118 million damage, and the breakdown is right there. Lots of it coming from these two. We got Crosswinds and we got the Strike. So let's take this in and look what it, just have a quick peek of what things look like when I do a little bit of farming. I'm just gonna go and do one of my bounties right now so you can see it in action as we go. I'll show you the mobility, I'll show you the dashing, plus the dashing gives us some unique abilities to move around the map in areas that you can't typically get. I'll see if I have something that I can give a demonstration of that as well. Now, let's see where we are. How far away are we from where we need to go? So I got my mobility, right? Everything is pretty good on cooldowns as well. I like to go in. I go in with my dash, right? I will strike in. It's going to increase my crit chance right here. Boom. And then I hit my two other skills and I start striking. Wind blades all over the place. And when I want to move, when I want to attack and move at the same time, I just hit the number one. I just hit, wow, that all jammed up for a second. I hit the first skill and it allows me to attack and it allows me to move. Gives me some really good mobility, kind of like when you're on the horse with the Crusader. So you can just go, you can dash to an area, go on in with your skills, dash to another area. I got double dashes all set, and then you can come back and clean up all of your things if you want to. We got to get 40 of these right here. So a lot of you are probably people that'll just kind of move around the area. You'll use all your skills, and then you go clean up everything that your pet didn't clean up for you on the way out. As you can see, I'm in the hardest hell difficulty right now. There is no difficulty whatsoever for me to get this done, and I will always stop at nodes to try and get some resources. I have not done a lot of crafting, so I have a lot of resources that I can craft. My plan is to wait for the next Inferno difficulty, or whatever the next difficulty is going to be, so that I can get the best usable gear for a long period of time. The combat is basically the same when you're in Helliquary. You're going to just dash on in. You're going to use both of your skills. If you need to move, you're going to pop your movement ability, the number 1 on the keyboard right here, and you can move around holding down primary attack, popping your skills, doing a ton of damage pretty easily, and really it's one of the better damage dealing classes inside of Diablo Immortal, and it's also one that is quite potent for many in PvP. I'm doing a lot of restructuring of my PvP build, and once we get that done in a place where I'm really comfortable with it, I'll be sure to share with you my PvP build as well. I'm going to get this bounty finished right here, and then that is it. Super easy farming, man. It's a really great class to drop damage quickly, farm well. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you want to see it again, just pause where you need to pause and grab what you need. Have a great day, guys.